you want to hear some music? You'd like that, wouldn't you? Well, today you're going to get all the music you want.
The request lines are now open. KGFJ Soul Radio.
Do it now, man.
Request lines are up.
It's open, man.
Got any Blue Oyster Cult?
No, I don't have any Blue Oyster Cult. I ate 34 pairs last time around. Where were you? I was that close to working at 7-Eleven, you know.
Pass the word along. Tell the men it's time to shoot the moon.
Shoot the moon!
Out there on the microphone. On the microphone.
Shoot the moon. Shoot the moon.
The attitude dictates that you don't care whether she comes, stays, lays, or prays. I mean, whatever happens, your toes are still tapping.
Hey, Strawberry! Oh, Strawberry. Hey, what's happening, man? How you doing? This is my friend.
Hey, how you doing, man?
What you looking at, man?
Oh, nothing. I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking at his neck, man.
Can you honestly tell me that you forgot the magnetism of Robin Zander or the charisma of Rick Nielsen?
That's kid stuff.
Kid stuff. Well, how about the tunes? I want you to want me. The Dream Police. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Build your muscles picking strawberries. You know, Band and Scoop. Maybe I could get you a job with United Fruit. I got a buddy with United Fruit. Start with strawberries, you might work your way up to these goddamn bananas. When, boy, are you gonna get your act together?
We're creating a society of cell phone crazed, marijuana smoking zombies.
Coming to you not quite live from Lukewarm Tallboy Studios deep in the land of Gar, this is Bend and Scoop, the podcast featuring music, mirth, and minutia, focused on exposing artists you probably haven't heard, but should. I'm Bob, and I'll be your tour guide on this amazingly asymmetric auditory adventure as we journey to the center of your cochlea. Welcome to episode 31, which is also the number of celebratory gunshots I heard in my neighborhood last night. Joining us at the end of the show for our Groovin' After Party will be our very special guest Curt from Half Hour Bros and Love Is Lit, sharing his own personal musical journey with a round of, is that your vinyl answer? We spread the gospel of vinyl here at Bend and Scoop, so be sure to tell us all about your favorite neighborhood record store by posting to @BenScoop on Twitter or Instagram using the hashtag SpinMomAndPop. Our record store of the week is Forever Young Records in Grand Prairie, Texas. You can follow them on Twitter @ForeverYoungTX, on Instagram @ForeverYoungVinyl, on Facebook @ForeverYoungRecords, and you can check out their website at foreveryoungrecords.com. Our first song of 2021 is actually one from back in 2013 by LA's The Rescues, from their album Blah Blah Lovin' War. Here's a song I think we all hope proves prophetic. Everything's gonna be better next year on Bend and Scoop.
Unless you
get worse.
From 2005's The Kick and the Snare, that was the Death Ray Davies with A Calendar Crime, which we can all agree is a pretty concise and apt description of 2020. On the brand new episode of Plausible Deniability, the podcast I co-host with my pal David Miller, we discuss our favorite TV shows of 2020. So give us a listen and see how close we come to matching your list. You can follow Plausible Deniability on both Twitter and Instagram at PauseDeny. Up next are Diamond Rugs, a band featuring members of Deer Tick, Black Lips, Dead Confederate, Los Lobos, and Six Fingers Satellite, with this song from their self-titled 2012 record that just might describe the conditions some of you find yourselves in the morning after New Year's Eve, hungover and horny on Bend and Scoop.
Waking up sometimes, do the stuff I know.
hungover and horny, too sick to call. Well, I'm as hard as a rock, I should be having a ball. Last night I went looking for fun, I take it just a little too far. It's such a drag getting slapped in the face when you're sitting in the back of a car. Hungover and horny, too sick to call. I'm as hard as a rock, I should be having a ball. Hey! Screwdriver, fix my soul, find my baby, bring her home. Bloody Maria, my, a little bit of tequila, seeing red in my eyes. Hungover and horny, too sick to call. I'm as hard as a rock, I should be having a ball. The sheets are wet and the mouth is dry, my clothes they just smell like smoke. It's such a drag when you can't remember all the reasons why you hurt. Hungover and horny, I'm gonna explode. I'm as hard as a rock, oh baby please come home. I'm as hard as a rock, oh baby please come home. If you don't come home, I don't come at all.
Man, that watch is so hot, it's smoking.
Hot? Do you mean to imply stolen?
I'll give you $50 for it.
$50? No. This is a Rochefoucauld, the thinnest water-resistant watch in the world. Singularly unique, sculptured in design, handcrafted in Switzerland, and water-resistant to 3 atmospheres. This is the sports watch of the 80s. $6,955 retail.
You got a receipt?
No, it tells time simultaneously in Monte Carlo, Beverly Hills, London, Paris, Rome, and Stade.
In Philadelphia, it's worth $50.
Just give me the money. How much for the gun?
Stranger, waiting here for someone new. Then you came from the sky like an angel. Wow, yesterday was coming through. But all the times that you've come, then you've gone away. Well, everybody knows your name, and all the days that belong to you gone astray. Well, evolution's right on time. I'm gonna be with you.
That was Stranded, Evolution Right on Time, by a band from New York City that followed us last week on Twitter and turns out are pretty damn good, Fire at Midnight, which is also what many of us witnessed in the skies to ring in the new year. Another podcast I'm part of is called Campfire Songs, where I get together with my buddies Tom, Jim, and Todd to share and discuss a couple of songs each. Follow us on Twitter at Songs Campfire and give us a listen. Speaking of songs, remember to be sure and check out our Bend and Scoop Spotify playlist. If we played it and they have it, you can listen to it there. You may have detected a theme to this episode, and this next track by Seattle's Death Cab for Cutie from their 2003 breakthrough album Transatlanticism certainly fits our theme. Here's The New Year on Bend and Scoop.
Kiss rock San Antonio.
That was another Seattle-based band, the Melody Unit, with April New Year from 2001's Choose Your Own Adventure. Have you ever wanted to host a podcast? Well, all you have to do to join the mic hunt and host your own episode of Assume the Juxtaposition is send me your topic idea to lukewarmtallboy@gmail.com. You can follow Assume the Juxtaposition on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at AssumeTJPod. Don't forget, if you enjoy listening to what we do here on Bend and Scoop, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you get your podcasts. Here's Nashville-based singer-songwriter Todd Snyder from his 2006 album, The Devil You Know, wishing us all a Happy New Year on Bend and Scoop.
Happy New Year, everybody. There's an overweight man with an overweight woman on the sofa watching TV. He's yelling his opinion at the television. She looks up from her food and agrees. They got 2 bumper stickers on their pickup truck. They keep the pickup parked outside. One sticker says, "What would Jesus do?" The other bumper sticker says, "Power of Pride." I was thumbing through the stations on my own television when I come across a guy on this religious station singing "Somebody's Coming." He sounded whiter than me somehow. Wow. It took me back in time through dwindling joy to when I was such a guilt-ridden Catholic boy. I'm evangelical agnostic now. I don't know what we're doing here. You don't know what we're doing here. Now Christians don't walk out on me just yet. You know whose name I'll be yelling as I'm clutching my chest. The one my dad told me to and his told him to. And I probably pray as much or more than you do. Believe shit, every word I sing. But believing and knowing, those are 2 different things. And if you're trying to change the way a stranger's life will have to go, I believe this is where I want to stick to what I know, which is nothing, you know. Nothing for sure, so just chill till the next episode. Now back to the lecture at hand. Seems like my neighbor wants to kill what he can't understand. I say, we can't just kill what we don't understand. But I turn on my TV and I see that, oh yeah, we can. We can and we have since the dawn of man. For countless gods whose only real seeming plan was to see to it that clinging to life was our fate. And you gotta admit, life's pretty great. But can we deny that it's killing us? I'll be here all week. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy birthday, Country Joe. I resolve to do like I always do. I ain't hurting you. Is anything, it's embarrassing. A rusty nail through a careless shoe. You can't help but sit around and wonder sometimes why there's never anything the nail can do. Or think about how unfair it is that the shoe's always going where it's got to too. If you ain't the dumb kid out running around, you kinda gotta do what you're born to do. Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. And specifically, happy birthday to you, Country Joe. I resolve to do what I always do, and I only ever make it a day or 2.
Penelope, do you realize where I've been since yesterday? They beat me up and stole my clothes. Those men wanted to have sex with me.
Discuss this somewhere else,
One of them
Louis.
tried to bend me over this, I mean, if this place is indicative of the state of correctional institutions in this country, they might as well let all the convicts out. It's far worse on the inside.
Stealing from your friends at the club, Louis? Heroin, Louis? Have you lost your mind? How could the man I loved, whose children I wanted to have, and breastfeed be a heroin dealer?
It wasn't heroin. It was angel dust, PCP, and it... Listen, Penelope, I swear to you, on my honor, with Almighty God as my witness, I am not an angel dust dealer.
Sun, and this will be our year. Took a long time to come. Don't let go of my hand, now the darkness is gone. And this will be our year. Took a long time to come. And I won't forget the way you held me up when I was down. And I won't forget the way you said, darling, I love you. You give me faith to go.
The Mynah Birds there with a lovely and highly appropriate cover of the Zombies classic, This Will Be Our Year. The very first podcast I was ever a part of is still going strong today, called How Many, where my buddies Jesse, Junior, Gary, and Scott discuss and debate a variety of pop culture topics, including movies, sports, TV, music, and more. You can follow How Many on Twitter at How Many Podcast and listen at howmanypodcast.com. Don't forget to stick around for the end of the show when we'll be joined in the Groovin' After Party by our special guest, Curt from Half Hour Bros and Love is Lit. From Melbourne, Australia comes Jamie Sachs from his 2020 record, We Build Our Own Cages, singing about his New Year resolution on Bend and Scoop.
I've got to the stage where I'm at an age where the thoughts that you think when you're young are really over. So it's New Year's Eve, set your goals for the year. If I tell you my dreams, I'm scared you might fall over. Do you like to dance? Do you wanna dance with me, maybe? Do you like to chant? Do you see a chance for me, maybe? Gotta reach for the front, let go of the back. Gotta reinvent, plan a new attack. Is Peter Pan ever gonna stop playing games and put on a suit, maybe change his name? Countdown starting like Cinderella feared. Will all she was soon disappear and be over? She's so hollow. What am I gonna say? 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 You might have a dream and it might be sunny, but a dream's no good unless it's gonna make you money. Don't tell me the bees are only in it for the honey. Raise your glass, a new year is coming. You got one chance to get wind in your sails. Some stuff flies and some stuff fails. If you hang on to a concept that is gone, you end up like the fool in the hill in the song. I'm not trying to be a poet on a mountain anymore. And I'm not trying to be a famous no one anymore. I know I need to get some dollars coming through the door. Ambition is eluding me. I don't know what I should be wishing for. What am I gonna say? 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 What am I gonna say, baby?
Every New Year's Eve, the caller came out. One terrifying night of unspeakable evil. New Year's Evil.
Rated R. Now playing at a theater or drive-in near you.
Not required any attire.
GBV there from 2012's The Bears for Lunch with the fitting Hangover Child. Now that we've finally escaped 2020, we no longer need to desperately seek a time traveler for the purposes of trading places.
Dan Aykroyd
This man is physically threatening me.
and Eddie Murphy
Oh, bad enough.
are trading places.
Find out. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. This has been a grave, grave mistake.
It looked just like the dude that had me busted.
It was the jokes. It was the jokes.
You're a dead man, Valentine.
Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy,
Billy Ray Valentine, Capricorn.
Trading Places. Coming this summer to a theater or drive-in near you.
Brothers and sisters, would you follow along if you will? I'd like you to partake in a little experiment with me. See, this is called Trading Places. There are many of us here today, and we all be involved. Check it. Could you be a rich man? Could you be a poor man? Would you rather be the bus boy or the doorman? Think of the things you love and adore closely. Would you work your whole life for more for the trophy? The walls that we live in, the webs that we tangle, are next to being held in prison, all depending on the angle. The devils were once angels, man and woman were once gods and goddesses. Space is bottomless. Could you be a queen? Could you be a whore? Could you cook and clean? Could you dream of a world where everything is yours and everything is free? Would you die for it if it meant that it would be? And all across the lines, the people all suffered. Some are confused, stupid, others starved of hunger. And the barriers between us cast shadows of doubt, of worlds we never guessed would unravel ourselves. Hey yo, stay this way, we must learn to come out ourselves and survive. As the race endures, want to take the place of yours. And you will trade in place your struggles and strive for another's fight whose cause is the same. As the race endures, want to take the place of yours. Hey yo, tell your old lady that you're gonna be late. We got a lot of work to do, plus we all at the gates. And the job ain't finished till it's done. Built great big walls, but we still primitive, son. Could you live as a monk, minimalist amongst the people, and give it all up from the needs of the ego? Imagine being addicted to the drugs from the needle. Too late to say, huh? Or could you be a hero or put another's life before your own? If you hurt somebody, would you want the right to right your wrongs? And could you bear living life all alone? Or being mistreated because of your skin tone? Where there wasn't no chance, no choice, no option. No order for the village, no voice for the orphan. No respect for a woman as they sealed her fate to a road she must walk. Could you ever relate? Hey yo, stay this way, we must learn to come out ourselves and survive. As the race endures, want to take the place of yours. And you will trade in place your struggles and strive for another's fight whose cause is the same. As the race endures, want to take the place of yours. Yo, to make changes, we should trade places. For how the pain changes, arrange strange faces. To
take the place of yours.
To make changes, we should trade places. Cause all the blame's aimless, arrange strange faces. To
take the place of yours.
That's right.
To take the place of yours. To take the place of yours.
I can see. I have legs. Oh shit! Look at this, man. I can walk. Jesus, praise Jesus.
People listen to people. So listen, people.
Welcome to the Groovin' After Party. Come on in and pour yourself a cold one.
Joining me now for our Groovin' After Party here on Bend and Scoop is Curt from the Half Hour Bros podcast. Welcome, Curt.
What's up, man? What's going on?
Not a lot. Glad to have you here. Thought we would start off by learning a little bit about Half Hour Bros. Tell us about your podcast.
All right. So let me ask you, did you check it out?
I did, and I'm very curious, especially to find out how I can get in on that narrating video or narrating audiobook bonanza paid by the chapter. As soon as I found out about that racket, I'm like, I got to get in on that.
So so we had our first ad. We're real bootstrap, I guess if you want to call it. It's just me and my brother. We got together one day and we see all these podcasts popping up, and this is right before coronavirus hit. And so we're like, I bet we could do that. And I was like, all right, give me a month. And then, a month later I had a studio built and we're just in there getting drunk, bullshitting for about 30 minutes a week.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I gotta say it's high energy for sure. You guys definitely.
Yeah.
I think it was your brother that was kind of comparing you to like an AM morning zoo type DJ there at one point. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, we when we started this, I was running the whole thing off the iPad, which you can really only take so far, as you could probably imagine, and which sucks too, because when we bought it, like I thought we didn't need a computer. I'm like, I got the newest iPad. It costs $1,100. You know what I'm saying? Like this should be everything I need. And then like 4 months in, I'm like, oh, this has got to go. So, but I had a soundboard on there, and I get the more beers in I am, the little crazier I get on the soundboard, I got to admit.
So how often do you guys record and post? Is it like a weekly podcast or?
Yeah, it's weekly with, we try to do like an hour-long episode at the end of each month. We live 10 minutes away from each other. So the studio is actually my guest bedroom. I just kind of morphed into a studio over a month, and, that's really it, man. It's 4 episodes a week. One of them's an hour. You got 3 30-minute ones. It's just us getting together, getting drunk. It's a nice break from reality. He's got 2 kids and an office job. I got a retail job. By the end of the week, I'm like, hey, I need a day where I can just forget about like all the shit in the fucking world for a minute and just kind of tune into some nonsense.
Oh, definitely. Now, he's actually your brother, your real brother, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the Half Hour Bros. Yeah, definitely. Literally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure it wasn't just bro in quotation mark, actual brothers. All right.
No, I put a Craigslist ad out for creepy 8-year older than me man, and that was the first phone call I got. So Half Hour Bros.
Well, that answered my next question. I was going to ask if you were the older or younger brother. So
I am 30 and he is 38.
But this was your idea, your brainchild. You kind of engineered the whole thing.
Yeah, he was supposed to do one with a couple other people, and they were kind of dragging their feet. And I'm like, we got to be able to come up with something funnier than those two. I've known him my whole life. We got the same kind of lingo. We're different, but in a very similar contrast. We could almost finish sentences. And so, I took it. Took about $500 after I got the iPad and just morphed it in. If you listen to the early episodes, it's rough. We have jumped miles since then.
For sure.
It's a struggle.
It is. Curt, let's learn a little bit more about your own personal musical background and journey by playing a round of what we call, Is That Your Vinyl Answer? So first
That's
question.
Incredible name for a segment. Is that your vinyl answer?
Yeah, I mean,
oh God, man,
it's a loving tribute to Regis. He passed away not too long ago, and
I cried when I heard that, because that was my childhood. Was Regis was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Like that I watched that religiously as Jeopardy. Like when Alex Trebek passed, like it's crazy getting older and all these titans of your life just drifting off.
Yeah, and it's insane that Alex Trebek and Regis both passed away this year, the same year. Just yet another thing to emphasize how crappy 2020 has been.
Yeah, 2020 is going out with a huge bang. It's a wreck.
It definitely is. So, Curt, what was the first record that you ever bought with your own money?
That's got to be middle school. Eminem. I'd probably say Eminem. It was an Eminem.
Okay. Was it like the 8 Mile soundtrack or?
No. I think this was the Marshall Mathers LP.
Oh, okay. Marshall Mathers.
And I remember I had to get my mom to go in with me because it was explicit. That's back, they had like the labels on it. I say back, like it's funny. Every generation has a back in the day. I don't feel too old when I say my back in the day was CDs. I feel like there's so much of an older back in the day that I'm over here grandpaing because I used to take the wrapper off of a CD case. But
Yeah, back when there was physical media.
yeah. That's gone, dude. That's eventually you'll just be able to look at your pinky and it'll just morph into, somebody singing live on stage. But
One of those chips that Elon Musk plants in our brain.
that Neuralink, man, that's I am glad that we're about a couple hundred years away from that, and I don't have to be alive to see the hive mind monstrosity that's gonna like to where I don't know what kind of world you'd want to live in where everyone had the same thought.
I mean, that's basically the Matrix. They're trying to create the actual Matrix.
Well, what was the pill? What is it? The red pill? I'm taking the red pill. I'm out. I'm out. You can just let me drift off into no. I had to bring my mom in though because it had explicit and I wasn't 18 yet, and I remember she bought that for me. Yep.
Do you remember where it was that you guys bought it?
Oh, Walmart. That was the CD hotspot, man. If you wanted a CD that came out in the past like 4 decades, they had 4 decades worth of music all on one little aisle, all converted to CDs. Yeah, Walmart was the hotspot.
Awesome. Now, do you still have that Eminem CD?
No, but I'll tell you, I lost in the move a collection that had the second CD I ever bought, which was 50 Cent "Get Rich or Die Trying." CD. That was when he first came out. And I remember I had a CD player because when you grow up, you only listen to what your parents listen to or your environment, basically. When you're in the car with dad, you're listening to, Hotel California. When you're in the car with mom, you're listening to Shotgun Wedding. Like, you go home and your brother who's 8 years older than you is listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony. And you're trying to fit in with like the new SpongeBob soundtrack. It's kind of hard to like develop your own music taste, but I had to listen to it in secret, like in my bedroom with headphones on because my dad was not a fan.
Now, with Eminem and 50 Cent being your first 2 albums, I would hazard a guess that rap is your favorite genre, yes?
Starting out, it's going back to my brother. He had an old MP3 player with the tiny disc that went in it, and I put it on one day and it had Bone Thugs and Harmony. Oh God, who else did it have? I can't. He had all these like old school Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg kind of vibes, and it got me into rap music. And then as I got older, I kind of morphed into I don't know. I feel like 70s music and 80s music was always the music, no matter what phase I drifted in and out of. I could always go back to the 70s. I was the biggest, surprisingly or not, Meatloaf fan for just the longest time. Paradise by the Dashboard Light, I'll still stand up for that song. That's top 100 songs ever made.
The great Meatloaf. He actually went to high school here in Dallas. He's the local guy.
Oof. Yeah, I would love to see the high school he went in.
Now, that's a great tune. I still love Paradise by the Dashboard Light too. Which band or artists albums would you say you own the most?
I would say it'd have to be Eminem for the longest time. I owned and Lil Wayne. I had every piece of music that they put out. The thing was, the old music was great. 70s and 80s was great, but if you didn't experience that actual era, I was born in 1990. I had favorite hits from way back in the day, from like before I was born, but you don't understand the whole catalog unless you've lived that. Like my dad lived through the 80s. My parents lived through the 70s. Some of those songs make no sense to me as a 30-year-old guy when I listen to them. So I would probably say Eminem though, because I own right when I was listening to independent music, he kind of came out, and yeah, I caught all of his catalog.
What's your favorite Eminem album? Is it Marshall Mathers?
Ooh, wow. That's like judging 3 kinds of steak. At the end of the day, you're still getting I would have to say the Slim Shady LP is probably my favorite, because that's when he was just kind of stupid for no reason. And you're a kid and you think life is horrible and your parents hate you and no one at school gets you. And like right in that moment, Eminem came out. So yeah, I'd have to say that one.
Is there any particular album that you've had to buy multiple times?
Linkin Park, the Collision Course. I owned all the Linkin Park ones, but when he did the Collision Course with Jay-Z, and that's where they put a twist on each other's music, and they sang it, and they had a third disc, which was their live concert of them doing it. And I remember I bought it, and my brother got deployed. He joined the military. He got deployed to Afghanistan. And I remember talking to him on a satellite phone, And he was like, yeah, they wouldn't let me bring much, but I definitely took that Collision Course CD with the DVD. I was like, God damn it. So I had to go out and buy that one again. But that was about it. Early on, I would say in music life, I was already on the game of storing them.
Now, does anybody in your family or among your friends have a really large collection of vinyl, like your dad or anybody, you know?
My dad worked at, and I should have got the name before I came on here, but he actually worked at a vinyl pressing where they press the vinyls.
Oh, really?
In Mississippi. And I can't
Wow.
remember the name of it, but they gave him a mug. We had this mug growing up in the pantry, and it had like his name and the year, like I guess his anniversary was. But yeah, one of his first jobs was like a company that pressed out vinyls.
Man, it's very cool. Do you have any vinyl currently?
No, but funny enough, it's now nostalgic enough again to where kids younger than me are having. My niece has a collection of vinyls. My 13-year-old niece is playing the Beatles, and I'm like, you don't understand the Beatles. Like, I try to tell her, she's like, this is my favorite, album. And I'm like, there's no way that I don't know. I guess people progress as the generations go, but she's got a whole stack of vinyls now. And that's like the move for the younger generation now.
Yeah. And one of my coworkers, same exact age as you, born in 1990, 30 years old. He just got a turntable and started grabbing some vinyl. So is that something you're thinking of maybe doing at some point, is getting a turntable, or are you good with all the digital stuff?
I'll tell you what, I'm the type of person where I have to see it kind of delivered to me. If I watch TV one night and this guy gets up there and he goes, I got the record player and I got all the greatest hits right here, 4 easy installments of whatever, I'd probably buy that. But it would be a far stretch to say that I'll go out and buy. I don't know. I'll tell you what, man, I listened to one of your episodes, and I have yet to hear another show like this one. This is really cool.
Oh, thanks, man.
I usually work on my show while listening to other shows so that I can do shout outs and stuff. But right when yours came on, I went and shut everything down, made a drink up, sat down with the low light on, and listened to that thing for like an hour straight. It was great. It was really good.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. Basically, I'm just cosplaying DJ, right? It's like if I had my own radio station, this is the stuff I would play. And it's kind of like a VO of a mixtape or mix CD. Here's some songs I think are cool. And I'm old, man. I'm like 54. So most of the people.
You look fantastic for 54, though. I'll say that. Jesus.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. And my wife just overheard you say that. So
yeah.
I think she can appreciate that too. But yeah. So I mean, I'm probably like your dad's age. But yeah. So most guys my age, most people my age, listen to old shit, right? They're listening to stuff like you said, Hotel California. So they basically quit listening to any new music like after the 90s. Yeah. And I just got bored of all the old shit, man. I wanted something new. So, God, probably around like 2000, 2001, I started digging, going online and just finding, indie and college music, that stuff, college radio. And I've been into it ever since. So that's the main focus, is just trying to find stuff that they don't play on the radio, that people don't know about. And especially people that I can convince, especially friends or whatever, to listen to the podcast. Hey man, you might like this. And Spotify is a huge help, because that helps me research and find out about stuff,
Definitely. You have the best type of show in the sense that you can tune in and you almost tune out in a sense. Like I was just tuning out. Like I would lay there and then you come on and it was perfect. I didn't have to have my eyes open. I didn't have to, like, you could literally lay back and it's one of the easier ones to listen to. Definitely. If I could go back and start a show again, I would just be my own radio DJ. Like I never fucking thought about that. That's fucking insane. Just be your own radio DJ, play whatever fucking music you like roll the click. That's and then talk in between, just like a radio, like DJ host. That's genius.
Oh yeah. I mean, initially that's all it was just the music. And I think I don't know if it was my wife or I was talking and I know what it was. Somebody reached out to me about, hey, do you have guests on your podcast? And I was probably like about 10 or 11 of them to date into them at that point. And I was like, well, I don't really have interviews or guests. But then I got to thinking, well, if I just put a little after party segment on at the end,
right,
and then bring people on from other podcasts, that'll be a great way to kind of cross promote. And it's been really fun.
I have one with my wife. I do. I don't know. You actually might be following us on the Bend and Scoop. It's the Love Is Lit podcast.
Oh, that's you guys? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
cool.
That's me and my wife.
Nice. Okay. I actually knew about that one before I knew about the Half Hour Bros.
Yeah, she's on that one, man. When we started it, I told her, I said, look, because my brother's, he's got 2 kids, office job. He does it at home now, but he's got a hectic life. I work a 40-hour, retail life, and it's just me and my wife here, unless you count our 2, dogs and a cat. So I basically do the whole Half Hour Bros show myself, and he writes the outline occasionally. But with her, when she took it on, I was like, you're going to have to do everything. Like, I'm already doing this. I've got so much effort put in this already. Like, you've got to run that. So she runs the other one.
Again, and that's the whole purpose of this, is having people on from different podcasts to cross promote. And one of the things I want to make sure we do before we wrap up is get all of your social information, all the accounts, the Twitter, Instagram, everything Half Hour Bros has, and might as well do the same for Love Is Lit too while you're here.
Let's see. Half Hour Bros podcast. You can find us on Spotify, really anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple, Google Podcasts. You can go to Libsyn directory, Half Hour Bros at gmail.com. Half Hour Bros pod is the Twitter.
And you've got some merch, right? You got a merch site?
Yes. That one's hard to tell you. That's a complicated URL. But if you go to our Twitter, at Half Hour Bros pod, if you check the Twitter out, in our bio is a link to the merch shop. And it's partnered up to where it's t-shirts, hoodies, hats, phone cases, stickers, wall art, magnets, buttons. You can get just about anything with the logo on it.
What about Love Is Lit? What are all the socials and everything for that?
Oh God. Is love lit at gmail.com, and Love Is Lit pod is the Twitter.
Okay.
If I messed that up, she'd kill me.
I appreciate you being on, man. It was fun chatting with you.
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I dig the show, man. You got another fan right here. I'm definitely going to check it out again. This was cool. Thanks for having me on, buddy.
All right, man. Well, listen, have a good one.
All right, brother. You too.
Bye-bye, lard ass.
Bend and Scoop is a production of Lukewarm Tallboy Studios.